Hey everybody, my name is Baer and this is Wild West. It's a new game by CreativeForge Games published by Ambitious Digital. Many people have described it as the Wild West XCOM, which seems pretty appropriate to me. I've played about 45 minutes or so and I am really digging it so far, so I wanted to hop on and see if you guys might enjoy it as well. The campaign is what I've started off with here. I'm going to go ahead and restart from the beginning and let you guys in on the story. We'll play just on normal mode. Couple of optional improvements or, you know, degradations you can make depending on your opinion of them. But I'll just leave this on the default setting. We'll start this scenario and I'll allow you guys to clue in on the story here for Wild West.
The Old West was a hard place. The only thing in abundance was poverty and firearms. Combine alcohol and hopelessness with greed, envy, lust, and pride, and death is often the result. Crude cabins stood alone in the wilderness, cut off from the outside world. People knew to mind their own business, but isolated, they grew ignorant and superstitious. Some said the devil walked the earth, said lost souls haunted and possessed the living, pushing them past the edge of sanity. In this harsh and dangerous country, no one had it easy, including your family. You were 6 years old when you traveled the Oregon Trail with your mother and father. Food was scarce, and your father, despite being a fine tracker and a crack shot, failed to find any game. It was as if every animal on the trail was spooked by some evil force. Your old man found a small village and tried to trade equipment for food. But this village was overrun by outlaws. They took your mother and decided to trade you and your father to white slavers. But he managed to break free, told you to hide, and set out to save her.
So I'm going to go ahead and play the tutorial for this one, only because it is, as they mentioned, short and very useful. Let's go ahead and hop in. Wild West is turn-based, as we made mention of. The first mission here, you play as the father, and this is your HUD. Looks good, in my opinion. It's, you know, the color palette is certainly, you know, on the browner side of things. But again, you know, in a Wild West game, you're sort of limited to a few unfortunate options sometimes. So here we go. In this mission, your father must rescue your mother who's been kidnapped by evil men. You can only move within the range indicated. Pretty customary here. Cover is indicated by shield icons. Always stay in cover. There's half cover and full cover. We are in half cover at the moment. Full cover would be something behind like a tent or a wall, for example. You've detected an enemy. All characters marked with red shield icons are enemies. This enemy is out of cover, so your shot, as indicated right here, you can push the number 2. Will be very effective. 70% chance to hit. Damage would be 4. You can see his health in the shield icon right there, so we'll be killing him if this does indeed land. Very good. Most actions require action points. Each character starts combat with 2 APs. Shooting typically uses up all remaining APs. When all of your characters are out of action points, the enemy turn begins. You just saw that there. I believe they're about to explain it. Yeah, there you go. Each character has a certain amount of luck. High luck protects from enemy shots, but when they miss, luck is depleted. When they're in cover, bypass their protection by flanking them. We'll just move right on over there. A much easier shot. I do like that it tends to rotate along with you quite well. Not always the case, but more often than not. Remember to reload often. They're a very important part of the Wild West theme to this game. Ammo is in short supply, both in quantity and availability in your weapon. In broad daylight, this is a really cool feature actually. You can locate enemies by their shadows. You can even shoot them if you have an unobstructed line of fire. So things like cloth, foliage, bushes, stuff like that, for example, can easily be shot through. So we've got our target. You can see his shadow. You can see the little outline of it right here. Of course, you can always, or you can usually rotate around and find enemies that way, but it's also nice to be able to utilize things like that. It's quite nifty. You ran out of luck and are bound to be shot. You must take better cover. You can use objects in the environment to create more effective cover. We're gonna head up here, click on this, another unique little feature of this game. Adjustable cover. So you see something like that, pull it up, create full cover. Much better protection that way. The red bar shows your hit points. When hit, your luck is partially replenished. You have several abilities at your disposal. Some abilities also require luck. Unfortunately, a really low chance to hit here. Fires 3 shots with a 20% aim penalty. We'll try it out. Nice! There we go. That's it for the tutorial. So see, short and easy, to the point. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and there's a few other aspects of the game too. That's certainly not to say that it's that simple, but that's about all we need to know right here in the start. Rescuer.
She was nowhere to be found. He saw the box. What was in it? The simple wooden box contained a head. Your mother's head.
We got 7.
Afterwards, your father found one of the gunmen still alive. The dying man rambled on about some unholy obligation, about promises made by the devil himself, and the rewards they would find in hell.
Bam! If your prospecting was lucky enough, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
You were alive, but all your supplies were destroyed. No way you'd make it to Oregon now. Your father decided to stay put and build a life right there. Many years passed, and you grew up. You became a man.
So the two of you took over the ruined railroad company buildings and tried your hands at farming. The soil was dry and the land was dangerous. You spent 10 long years scratching out an existence from the dirt. Now you were grown. You figured the two of you should try for Oregon again. It's what Mother would have wanted. Gold! Who would have thought they'd find it here, and just when you needed cash for your journey? How convenient. Time to strike it rich and get out of town before the outlaws and madmen show up. They always do. The masked man controlled all the gold mining. His henchmen sold you a license that let you run 9 prospecting operations. So you see down here in the bottom right, this is kind of our overworld map that takes place between combat settings and scenarios. It changes, you know, a lot depending on what you do, from what I can see. I think it's kind of linear in the beginning, but you have a few options of changing your course and, you know, moving around quite a bit. As you can see, there's a lot of space for little areas, new things, new experiences to pop up all over the world. But for now, we're going to be limited to just this little outpost and a couple of mining prospects. Everyone said there was placer gold down in the ditch, but most of it was buried deep under hard rock. You rinsed the placer gold, costing you 15 bucks. Netted a profit of 31, so the total income was $16. Not bad. Can only do that one time, I believe, but now that we've got enough money to actually excavate the deeper gold as a result of the profit we got from the placer gold, certainly seems worthwhile to do that. Unfortunately, only getting ourselves $2 of profit that time. Not exactly what we're looking for, and sadly we can't afford this one. You considered using unconventional extraction methods. Now, I don't necessarily know what this means. They were effective but expensive. You first needed to obtain or rent the proper tools. So I guess we can't do that yet. Let's go check out something else here. Let's maybe even have a look at the neighbor's house. It looked like the nearby farmhouse was inhabited. You paid them a visit and they turned out to be kind people. You exchanged pleasantries and the customary promises to help one another. More importantly, you met Florence, their beautiful, kind-hearted daughter. All you exchanged were a few glances, but you found yourself smitten. Not interested in prospecting themselves, the neighbors tipped you off about a couple of promising spots.
From the day you first laid eyes on Florence, she was all you could think about. It wasn't just desire that she inspired in you. It was the way she saw the best in you, the way she made you feel.
The shaft had been thoroughly explored in the hard rock depth, but not much apart from that. Let's start with the deeper gold, maybe. Collect the deeper gold, and that's a profit of 42 bucks. That's pretty darn good. We might actually be able to get into that deep bedrock here. Let's see. Placer gold nets a profit of 16. That does indeed provide us enough. Let's try. You mine the hard rock gold. Profit of, what do we get here? $6. Okay, so the The way that works, I'm not 100% sure about. I'm pretty sure that we can find ways, though, to make our prospecting a little bit better. I believe we can find upgrades in the map that give us a better chance of making more money from those. Oh, but somebody got raided here. Father worried you wouldn't make it on your own. He figured you need protection. You disagreed, but went along with his decision. For the last time. Alright. So, we got raided here. We need to go ask the crime lord for protection. The Mexican said he'd help if you split your gold money with him. He left you a bunch of guns, some empty blessings, and a promise to send a vaquero to help out. We got Cheech. Few items received as well. I believe we can check our inventory. Yeah, we got our character screen here, so here we go. This is our, yeah, as I mentioned, the character screen. This is Father. I believe we play as Warren. Yeah, that's us. That's me. Let me see if I can swap back here. There we go. After Mother died, you had to grow up fast. You were always impulsive, courageous, and wild at heart. You always believed in doing the right thing no matter the consequences, and you never pulled your punches. There's us. And this is one of the more interesting aspects of the game to me. We'll get into this more once we're about to hop into combat, which should be happening pretty soon. But I really love this. You can use cards as power-ups, and if you add the right sets of cards to characters, you can actually get bonuses based on the poker hand that you form with that. Which is really neat. I like that quite a bit. I am just sort of a sap for card-related things, I guess. I don't know, they just... Face cards, man, they get me all excited. Which is probably a bad sign for me and my gambling habits, but let's not worry about that now. The bandits were coming. It was the hour of reckoning. There we go. We're probably ready here. So we got a couple of decent guns. We've got the starting 6-shooter here for Father as well. I believe both of us have those. Cheech has a couple of decent things himself, so we probably don't necessarily need to give him any help. Let's go ahead and give me a small upgrade here. I think, yeah, this is going to be a little bit more damage in the Navy gun, so let me replace my 6-shooter with that. And I'm going to throw the repeater rifle on myself as well. Both Father and myself are essential. Although, if this ends up being a repeat of last time, I believe Cheech is sort of important to this as well. We suffer a little bit of a penalty if we let him go down. And we're going to use the card screen here as well. We do have a couple of these. Unfortunately, not going to be providing us any sort of poker hand advantages, but it's still worth it. With the Ace of Clubs, it's a passive ability. Your shots don't replenish enemy luck, plus nearby enemies lose luck all the time. Not bad. Bounce bullets off one or more ricochet objects. Now here's something I'm trying to figure out that I haven't really had a lot of luck with. There is a ricochet mechanic in the game, and I'm hopefully going to be able to do that this time. Be able to do it, you know, not just being able to do it. There's 2 levels to this. Defend the homestead. Here we go. So as I mentioned, yes, if Cheech dies, it'll cost me $200, which is unfortunately a ton of money right now. Really can't afford to let him go down, so I need to make sure Cheech is well protected almost at all times. I'd much rather risk taking a lot of damage to these two as opposed to letting him get hurt. Let's go ahead and pop this open as well. We know that'll certainly help us out. And let me see if I can't, I don't think we can see any of our enemies yet. I believe they're going to be showing up from this end. Let me just make sure everyone's pretty well protected, and then we'll worry about whether or not we're going to be setting ourselves up offensively in a minute here. Let me get you, I would like you to go inside, but I suppose this'll do. I don't really want him to go out of cover, though. This is not looking too great. Let's pop right here, actually. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Stay right along with Pappy. And that'll do it. We'll pass the turn. Let's see where the enemies are coming from. Alright, full cover. Lost a little bit of luck there. We'll pay more attention to that once we have our turn again. Oh, this is bad. Oh, good. That would have been some big damage. He's got a flank on us there, so I don't think my cover actually makes that big of a difference in that area. And that guy's got a lot of health. Yeah, wow. He's going to be a little bit tougher to deal with. Now, you hear people moving around here. Unfortunately, I don't think we have line of sight on these guys, so they might end up being over in this area somewhere. We can try to hear the footsteps, but it's difficult. Hopefully, we can get a better angle on them pretty soon. Now, fanning might be a good option here. Although, if I shoot this guy once, he's more than likely going to die. Yeah, let's go ahead and just go for that straight shot. 79% chance, I'll take it. Nice. Alright, one down. I should probably open this door, but I'm worried there's someone actually in here. So let me see if... There we go. Okay, that's what we needed to see. Now, do I have an ability I could use here? We could go with fanning again, but I think I'd be better off again just going for that shot. Let me see. Ricochet isn't really necessary here either. That's usually when people are behind cover that you want to do that. So I think we'll just go for this. 100% chance to hit this target, so this is just a guaranteed kill. I think there's not many better options than that. There we are. And last opportunity. This guy's got to be a pretty decent chance to hit, right? 59, okay, that's not really terrific. What does my cone shot look like? It's not close enough. What if I were to try to change my cover here? What if I wanted to go over here? I don't know if that's really worth it. Let's just try to go for this shot. Pretty much a coin flip. Let's hope for it. Nice! Well done. Okay. That's a good start. Basically, the best start. Yeah, I can't really be that much more optimistic about it. Okay. Minimal damage there, too, so luckily we don't have to worry about it too much. He's got 3 health. Just a little tiny pistol, not that big of a deal, but that did hurt a lot. Wow. Okay, oh, jeez. Alright, this is me, so obviously I can't let me go down. We do have the bullets for this. He's gonna die from this shot. Point freaking blank. That is brutal. And pretty good odds to hit this guy as well. He's behind a small amount of cover, unfortunately, so I might be better off, in fact. Let's see here. If I take Father, move him behind this cover, then he should have the flank. Let me see if this is going to work out for me. Yes, 79%, full damage. Very good. That's excellent. Okay, now I think we stay behind cover here as well. Let's go ahead and just go for a reload. Keep us prepped, and I think we'll be okay. He does have a ton of health, though. This worries me a little bit. Good miss there as well. He's wide open now, though, so if I can get every single shot to land, we might have a chance. Just taking him down right now. There's half of it. Do I want to bring him out? He's only got 2 health. Maybe I'm better off letting Warren stay behind and not die. Oh, that was a little glitchy. Sorry about that. There we go. Quick reload, and we will pass his turn. Let's just hope that Cheech has enough here. I might have to switch his weapon, actually. Let's have a quick look at this. My range here is about the same, I imagine. 73% against what? 59. Okay, so we definitely want to go for the rifle shot. Let's try it for it. This is a pretty good chance. I like my odds here. Very good. Okay, that went extremely well. Boom. Though you survived the attack, Father was worried. He said you should build an underground escape tunnel in case of another attack, but he also wanted you to call the shots. Alright, well, I'll be honest with you, the first time I saw this, I decided that was a pretty good idea. And I still think it is. It's only $200, which is half of our life savings right now, but hopefully it doesn't end up being the wrong choice. Father said he'd take care of the materials and construction. Meanwhile, the bandits were attacking elsewhere. You ran to make sure Florence was safe. Florence's parents didn't survive the raid. You found her among the dead. Horrible phrasing there, by the way. Instantly insinuates that she was killed. But she is very much alive. Weeping, she followed you home and never left. She never spoke of it, but brought fresh flowers to their house in their memory every week. While you were gone, your father had a visitor. A well-dressed gentleman with a peculiar accent who seemed to appear out of nowhere. His magnificent cologne almost concealed his curious sulfur aroma. Could he be? No, that was madness. The gentleman was quite persuasive, convincing Father to spend most of his cash on a lucky amulet. He was fed up with struggling, running scared from bandits, crime lords, and the weather. He wanted the prospecting business to take off and fast. Still, though, Father seemed loath to discuss the matter. He downplayed the power of the trinket, insisting it probably wouldn't work. Still, things improved. Father swiftly found new digging sites and extraction was efficient. Soon he was able to buy a better mining license. Very good. We're now affected by amulet power. If we check in on that real quick, we can see our boons and afflictions down here. We're gaining luck per turn, which is quite nice. Apparently gained a couple new cards as well. Let's see this. 9 of Spades. Gain demonic strength, that's just +1 health, that's pretty darn good. And the Jack of Diamonds. Regenerate when not in direct sunlight. Very powerful in nightmares. There's a lot of superstitious elements to this game, too, that I'm really enjoying. Of course, you probably got the gist of what was just going on there, but very likely dealing with a man who could be the devil himself. Don't want to spoil nothing or anything. I know, that's a big plot point. It wasn't super obvious right away, but likely what's happening there. Let's go for Ugly Ditch real fast. We've got 200 gold. I think I'm going to go ahead and chance this. The Hard Rock. Collect the Hard Rock gold deposits by smashing the quartz stone with a pickaxe. The Mexican's cut was $4. We got a total income of 27 bucks out of that. Not bad. We got to pay attention here now, though, as well. Keep in mind, the Mexican cut may be increasing as we go. Profit of $6 from that. The Mexican cut has raised to 25%, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and try one more time on the deeper gold. Gonna gain 14 bucks from that, but the cut continues to increase. Let's try one more here. That bedrock again. Gained ourselves 206. The Mexican's cut, though, is starting to be a big, significant chunk here. We lost $30 from that, and it continues to increase. Oh, geez. Let's check out the meadow, actually. Let's head up here. I haven't really been up here yet. You noticed a young native woman with a basket picking flowers and carefully selecting herbs. Initially startled by your arrival, she then offered you healing herbs for sale. Sorry. $35 for herbs, or we could try our own hand at it. Let's try this out. Observant and lucky, you picked the correct herbs. Nice. Alright. Same result, no money spent. But Warren's, I see, so it cost us luck there. Warren's luck changed, and now he's going to have a lot less luck going into the next fight. So actions outside of combat end up impacting your next bout of combat. That's pretty great. That is very interesting. I got to think about that. Prospectors camp now. Prospectors led by Alexander Kane have been collecting gold using rinsing pans. Kane has vast knowledge of placer gold retrieving techniques. Ah, see, this is what I was talking about. So the master techniques of placer gold, increasing our income from placer gold deposits by 75% for $300. I'm going to go ahead and invest in this. I'm going to say that's probably worth it. You learned how to retrieve gold using a sluice trough. Let's see how well this pays out now. Unfortunately, this is going to be happening after the Mexican cut has raised significantly. Oh, this is different, though. You'd heard about this place, a rich mine that collapsed years ago on top of a bunch of miners, burying them alive. Their wives and children still decorate the entrance with flowers. It looked like you could squeeze in, maybe get some of the gold they found. As you reached the first opening, you found a skeleton with its legs crushed under a boulder. You wondered if he bled out before he died of thirst. His shirt, though stained, was still intact and of very good quality. So we gained a blood-stained shirt out of that. Keep going deeper. The next cavern was cramped and full of stale air. You found a little gold, but not much, 43, and apparently some sturdy shoes, too. Keep going. Oh, boy. Wounded and weary, you eventually reach the end of the furthest tunnel, and there inside a massive stash of gold. 326 to be specific. Oh, Warren is now affected by cracked skull. The air must have poisoned you, because as you went to pick it up, you hallucinated a tall man in a suit, smiling and smoking. As you turned to leave, he said, "Just so we're clear, that's mine, but you can borrow it for a while." As you inched your way back to the sunlight, you heard a low rumbling all around you. You hurried, hands trembling, heavy drops of sweat rolling down your face. You had just emerged, blinking into the sunlight, when the mine collapsed behind you. Goddamn. Things are getting interesting. Hope you guys are enjoying this. This is Hard West. Let me know if you'd like to see more of this game. I'm probably going to play more of it all the same, but would appreciate the support nonetheless. Leave a like on the video as well if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.